Yo, so what up? So we got some news. Maycee Barber versus Rose Namajunas. Apparently, Maycee Barber is out, and they're trying to replace Maycee Barber with Tracy Cortez, which is an interesting matchup. I think on Tracy's part, since she just busted into the top 15, I think she's kind of realizing, she's probably only fought once per year, so she wants to take it into the next stratosphere and really make a jump. Although she was going to face Miranda Maverick, which would have been a good fight, which I honestly think she could have finished Miranda Maverick, to be honest. But going up into Rose Namajunas' territory, especially the current Rose Namajunas, just because after that last Amanda Ribas fight, it was super close. Ribas had some good moments. Rose had good moments. Ultimately, Rose took the decision. Rose fell short against Fiorot, so at flyweight, 1-1. It's okay. We don't really know. I mean, change in weight class, first off, so you can't be too harsh on Rose. But I got to be real. Ever since I've seen Carla Esparza versus Rose Namajunas 2 back in the day, back at UFC 274, the mental game of Rose, the same thug Rose that beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk twice, the same Rose that beat Zhang Weili twice, it didn't show up with that Carla Esparza rematch, and I don't know why. I'd have to say Rose's mental game is always going to be the defining factor of these fights, whether she's facing Maycee Barber or Tracy Cortez or anyone in the flyweight division, women's flyweight division of the UFC. Do I hope that this switch around happens? Yes, because honestly, I think Tracy's honestly been fighting so many either non-ranked or just at the top 15 opponents so many times. I think she needs to take that step up in the competition, because from a fighter's perspective, if she wants to take it into that stratosphere to be in the title contention, please do. That's what's really going to get you from being 15 to all the way into the top 5, basically. Plus, you put a gigantic stamp on a champion like Rose Namajunas, who still is holding that 5, 6, rank 7 space. That's a very decent jump in the rankings. That's going to allow you to keep some threshold. But then you're going to have to keep that momentum going, just because a lot of these fighters who fight once a year, or just once every 14 months or something like that, they happen every now and again. And it's not necessarily completely a bad thing, because you're risking your health going in there. But it's not something that's going to say, hey, title shot, So I think, honestly, to get the ball going, Tracy knows that she's going to have to get the ball rolling soon and really start jumping into the big rankings. So I honestly think this Rose Namajunas step-in would definitely be the smartest thing that she could do for her career. And it would be the risk that she has to take. And I'm going to be real, it still is a risk, because we don't know if the best Rose Namajunas is going to show up that night. Like the Rose that beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk twice, the Rose that beat Zhang Weili twice. If that shows up, I think Rose can get it done very easy if she just brings out that legendary status. But since that's kind of been lacking and it's just a slow erosion, the same kind of stuff I was talking about was happening with Robert Whittaker when he was fighting Paulo Costa. It just seemed like Robert Whittaker just missed a couple of steps. And I'm sure, side tangent, of course, Robert Whittaker looked really good in that last fight, but he wasn't fighting anybody with a ranking next to their name. So we might be seeing something similar with Rose Namajunas. Is she eroding? I don't know. There's a lot of factors going on into this one. Definitely, if, let's say, Maycee Barber was standing across from Rose Namajunas, I definitely would have Maycee Barber winning that fight, just because I feel like Maycee would definitely be both physically and mentally a daunting presence for Rose. But honestly, this would be good, because Maycee Barber, I definitely feel like she needs some time to season herself before she could take on the people who I feel like are a major threat to her. So people like Alexa Grasso, Valentina Shevchenko, Manon Fiorot, Erin Blanchfield. Those are the 4 ones that I really think are going to give Maycee Barber a run for her money. I think it would be better off Maycee just rests up, faces the winner of Tracy Cortez versus Rose Namajunas, whoever that is, gets a little bit more seasoning, and then probably talk about going after Erin Blanchfield or someone like that to try and get her to that title shot. Because I'm going to be honest, it is sad to see Maycee Barber have to pull out of that fight because I'm a huge Maycee Barber fan. I think she's like my favorite prospect at 125 currently. No offense to any other of the ladies on the roster. Y'all are doing your job. But just to watch Maycee go from this very young, arrogant lad who was busting through a bunch of people until she hit a wall with Roxanne Modafferi, and then she had to get humbled, and she took that humbleness, and what did she do? She made herself a complete fighter that's dispatching people now, and it's actually really inspiring to see that, yeah, if you stay on the grind and you stay on that, you could talk as much trash as you want, and, you know, she did obviously take some backlash for the fans when she fought Roxanne, but just seeing her hit that next stratosphere is awesome. But rest up, and you know what? This swap out might turn out for the better for more than one people involved. I think Maycee Barber kind of wins in this aspect because then a lot of people are saying that Rose Namajunas doesn't have much to gain, or Maycee Barber doesn't have much to gain from facing down Rose Namajunas because you're basically facing someone smaller than you. So let's say Tracy beats Rose, then you actually have a very compelling matchup in Maycee Barber versus Tracy Cortez, and that could benefit all three fighters definitely because then everyone's going to be in those big leagues. Someone does eventually have to lose, but this is an actual interesting trifecta that's happening right now at 125 that could possibly happen. You just got to get the final go-ahead from Dana White because obviously he and the matchmakers make the final decisions. I'm just a bystander giving my opinion, but it is a heck of a headline. I'm just happy to report on it. Peace out.